When Formula One announced it was bringing the Grand Prix to Las Vegas, the world expected the biggest event the sport had ever seen. The marketing promised a spectacle unlike any other. Neon lights, the famous strip as the backdrop, casinos and celebrities filling the grandstands, and F1 breaking into the American market with a show of unprecedented scale. Fans imagined a glamorous weekend that would rival Monaco, redefine what a Grand Prix could be, and finally cement F1 as a top-tier sport in the United States. But what actually happened was very different. Behind the flashing lights and billion-dollar promises, the Las Vegas Grand Prix left a bitter taste. Sky-high ticket prices, chaotic organisation, a disappointing track layout, and furious locals turned what was supposed to be Formula One's crown jewel into one of its most controversial races. This is the story of how the Las Vegas Grand Prix went from dream to disappointment. The big idea. For decades, Formula One had struggled to gain a true foothold in the United States. Yes, there had been the United States Grand Prix in Austin and earlier attempts in Indianapolis, but the sport never fully captured mainstream American audiences. Enter Liberty Media, F1's American owners, who saw Las Vegas as the perfect opportunity. What city better represents glitz, money, and excess? The strip itself seemed like the ideal stage for F1 cars flying at 300 kilometers per hour, with global television audiences marveling at neon billboards and casino skylines. The concept was bold, a nighttime race under the lights, with a brand new street circuit weaving past famous landmarks. It wasn't just a race, it was marketed as an event, a Super Bowl-style weekend with concerts, parties, and luxury hospitality. The hype machine promised that Vegas would become an instant classic. But from the very beginning, warning signs appeared. Glitz over racing. The circuit design was meant to capture the spirit of Las Vegas. Wide straights for speed, iconic backdrops, and enough capacity for massive crowds. But when the layout was revealed, hardcore fans were underwhelmed. The track was flat, lacking elevation, with long straights connected by simple 90-degree corners. Critics immediately pointed out that it resembled yet another generic street circuit, closer to Baku or Miami than to a true classic. For all its flashy setting, the circuit didn't promise much in terms of racing excitement. Meanwhile, construction costs skyrocketed. Roads on the strip had to be resurfaced, barriers installed, and temporary grandstands built. Local businesses suffered from months of disruptions as streets were closed and tourism traffic was blocked. For many Vegas residents, the race became not a celebration, but an expensive inconvenience. Ticket prices and fan outrage. If the circuit raised eyebrows, the ticket prices caused outright outrage. General admission prices soared into the thousands, while premium packages for VIPs were priced higher than a trip to Monaco. A single grandstand ticket could easily cost $2,000 or more, while hospitality boxes reached tens of thousands. The strategy was clear. F1 and Liberty Media wanted to target the wealthy elite, celebrities, and corporate clients. But in doing so, they alienated ordinary fans. The average F1 supporter, even in the US, was priced out almost instantly. And the backlash came fast. Online forums, social media, and F1 communities lit up with criticism. Many fans who had dreamed of attending the first Las Vegas GP simply couldn't afford it. Even locals, who endured months of disruption during construction, found themselves locked out of the event. The result? Empty seats and a growing sense of resentment. Vegas residents' pushback. Las Vegas is a city built on tourism, but even locals have limits. The disruption caused by the race became a nightmare for everyday life. Traffic jams stretched for hours, businesses along the strip lost customers, and workers struggled to reach their jobs. When residents finally saw the ticket prices, frustration boiled over. The perception grew that the Las Vegas Grand Prix wasn't for the people of Las Vegas at all. It was for the global elite, celebrities, and wealthy foreigners. Media outlets began publishing critical stories. Small business owners furious over blocked roads, casino workers complaining about commute chaos, and citizens angry that billions were being spent while the community saw little benefit. Instead of being embraced as a proud new tradition, the Las Vegas GP was viewed as an outsider event, imposed on the city rather than welcomed by it. Style over substance. If you weren't a fan able to afford a ticket, you might think at least the VIPs had a good time. But even the so-called exclusive experience turned into a disappointment. Many VIP suites were overpriced but underdelivered. Guests complained about long lines for food, limited views of the circuit, and poor organization. Even celebrities who were supposed to bring glamour to the event ended up voicing frustration about logistics. What was supposed to be a glamorous party quickly turned into a reminder that no amount of champagne or neon lights can hide a badly organized event. Formula One had promised the greatest show on earth, but what guests got was closer to a chaotic experiment. And as for the racing itself, that too left much to be desired. The racing. When the cars finally hit the track, fans hoped that the action would save the event. Unfortunately, the circuit design delivered exactly what critics had feared. The long straights did allow for overtaking, but the overall racing was flat and uninspired. The corners lacked technical challenge, and the race had little of the drama or unpredictability fans expect from F1's greatest venues. Worse still, early sessions were marred by embarrassing issues, including loose manhole covers damaging cars. A repeat of mistakes that have haunted other new street circuits. What was billed as a cutting-edge showcase for F1 looked amateurish on television. For many fans watching around the world, the Las Vegas Grand Prix felt like style over substance, a flashy show that forgot about the racing at its core. A billion-dollar misstep. In the months after the race, the criticism only grew louder. Attendance numbers were lower than expected, revenues failed to meet projections, and the negative press overshadowed any attempt to spin the event as a success. Citizens of Las Vegas continued to voice frustration, while fans online joked about the race being more of a corporate festival than a true Grand Prix. Even die-hard F1 supporters who attended admitted it didn't live up to the hype. What was supposed to be F1's boldest move into the American market became a cautionary tale. Throwing money, lights, and celebrities at a race can't hide fundamental problems: overpriced tickets, poor planning, and a circuit that fails to deliver thrilling racing. The Las Vegas Grand Prix was meant to be the jewel of Formula One's expansion in America. Instead, it became one of the sport's most controversial experiments. It showed the risks of prioritizing spectacle over substance, of chasing VIP dollars while neglecting fans, and of trying to force a tradition instead of letting one grow naturally. Formula One will almost certainly keep racing in Vegas. The contracts are signed, the money is invested. But the damage to its reputation among fans and locals is harder to undo. What should have been a celebration of speed and glamour ended up as a reminder. Formula One is, at its heart, about racing, and no amount of neon lights can replace that.